I was a very picky eater when I was younger, but one of the things that older me and younger me can agree on is that bread has very few things that can top it. It's something that's so comforting and rich and can apply into many different dishes, and it's something that I always loved the second that I tried it. Quite a few years after that, I listened to the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill for the first time. This album is critically acclaimed. It is infamous for being her only solo project released, and there are so many incredible songs on this record. There's a reason why it was ranked number 1 on Apple Music's top 100 albums of all time. One of my favorite aspects about this album is the wondrous skits throughout the album that really display the narrative of a classroom full of students, Lauryn Hill being absent from this class, and they're talking about different themes of love and appreciation and really defining what love is. I think it's quite beautiful, and whenever I listen to the album, I never skip these skits, because in my opinion, that's the process. I don't love making lots of breads or baking or anything, but I found a way to make a process for me with this sourdough, where I don't use a recipe, I don't use any references, I just go by feel, and it actually creates similar results to this album where each listen or each attempt I get a little different out of it, but it's always good and it's always teaching me something, and I'm always enjoying it a lot more. Just like bread could be applied to a bunch of different things, grilled cheeses, certain toast dishes, certain breadcrumbs or croutons or whatnot. I think this album can be broken up into lots of different genres or moods or ideas. Yes, there's tons of love songs, but there's also tons of songs about upbringing, songs about identity. Don't get me wrong, X Factor and Doo Wop are incredible tracks, but they are so well complemented by songs like To Zion and Final Hour and Superstar. Seeing how Lauryn Hill solidified herself as one of the most important artists of all time, it's incredible that she only ever released one solo album. I will say though, while I would love a new Lauryn Hill album, I understood her reason for not creating another one, at least so soon. She was writing all these songs, but by the time she ended up touring and she had to create a new album, all she had done is just lived life through touring. What was there to make songs about? That being said, it's been 27 years, so whenever she's ready, I'm ready too. I think we'll get a new album by 2027. I still remember the first time I listened to this album. It was honestly quite late in 2021. Summer had just started and I was on a journey to listen to a bunch of different albums that I knew that people loved and I probably would enjoy as well. It probably was the most immediate love I ever had for an album. The first time I listened to it, I was blown away by just how consistently well produced, well performed, whether that's through singing and rap and jazzy instrumentals, soulful instrumentals, pop instrumentals, hip hop, boom bap. There was so much here and it all flowed so incredibly well. Again, with those skits that I really enjoy. It's a long project, but not too long, and it honestly feels a lot shorter than it actually is. It's 16 tracks, an hour and 17 minutes, but it doesn't feel bloated. It doesn't feel like it drags. It also doesn't feel like it's scant or empty. It's a perfect length. I also love how almost every song I could feel comfortable listening to them solo, as much as I love listening to them in the context of the other songs in the album. This album really is like bread to me. It's one of my favorite things of the artistic category. It can traverse so many different cuisine, and I feel like it's a blueprint for so many incredible things to be built upon it, but it's also just so great on its own. As you can see, I'm making some sourdough bread, and in my next episode of Good Taste, I'll be making a grilled cheese, and I'm also making some dough for a different other bread recipe, but you'll see that after the next episode. I can't recommend this album enough. It's easily one of my top 5 hip-hop projects of all time, and very high up in my top albums of all time. To have a lifespan that's so long-standing, to be a project that people talk about all the time, and to be the one and only. It's an incredible feat. I think I came up with a good analogy. I love buying sourdough bread from the store, and to me, that's almost like listening to this album and skipping the interludes. You know, it's good, but it feels a lot more rewarding to get the full picture and actually see how everything is combining together to create something, which is the story or the final product, the bread. So when I do make bread from scratch, it feels like listening to that album, interludes and all. It truly is a process that's beautiful and rewarding and very freeing. I truly recommend it to anyone who hasn't heard it or hasn't heard it in a while. It's a very incredible project. And if for some reason you've never made homemade bread before, I really recommend it. There's tons of great recipe videos online. I'm not gonna share one, but the whole point is that I'm not planning out how much flour I use or anything like that. So the world doesn't need more sourdough bread recipes on the internet, but the world does really want a new Lauryn Hill album. Hey, sourdough bread, the miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Eat some of this, listen to that, you'll have good taste. Thanks for watching. Alright, bye.